Welcome to City on a Hill Gaming, a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons actual play podcast. Let's meet our players.
Hi, I'm Grant, and I'm playing Trather Wimlin, a human fighter.
Hi, I'm Jenny, and I'm going to be playing John Abermere, a Crimson-born human.
Peter, Bertrand Greystone, Dwarven Forge Cleric.
William R. Aarakocra Magi.
Daniel, I am playing Vatten. I am a half-elf ranger.
Hi, my name is Ben, and I am Twig, or Shem. I am a rogue bard and a Goliath.
We hope you enjoy our episode. You guys keep making your way through the forest. You guys kind of keep going, and as you guys pass the foliage, you hear from inside, they seem nice. I like them. And you guys just kind of keep... You hear the sound of her thwapping them with her bow again.
Once they get out of earshot, I say,
Bertrand
"Oh my
will
gosh."
smile warmly and just keep walking.
Once they get out of earshot, I say, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe that worked."
And you actually hear her, I guess it can have been them. I mean, there was no dwarf. Huh. How about that? You don't see that many Aarakocra around here. Okay, so you guys keep going, and you get to the outskirts of Oriel. It takes you several days. You have to spend multiple nights on the road. You don't run into any other interruptions. Okay, so you guys kind of make your way into the city of Oriel. Oriel is actually quite large. It's one of the larger cities in Thassaran, which is the kingdom to the north of Anwaru, where you guys have mostly been. Grant, Trather has been to Oriel a handful of times. It's a fairly nice city. The Duchess keeps a fairly solid control of things. They've had some issues lately. This is set roughly during the invasion from the last campaign by the Merfolk. But they do have control of Oriel still. And everything's pretty okay. And she told you guys to head towards the palace. Or not the palace, her kind of manor. But to not go in the front and to make sure that you leave the child disguised as you head into town. And so you guys kind of head in, and you get roughly to where you're pretty sure you're supposed to be. And you notice one of the Warforged that you're familiar with, one of her bodyguards, kind of hanging out around the back of the house. And she sees you guys and motions for you guys to come over. And she lets you in, and you realize you're kind of in the basement, like sort of the back entrance of a very, very large, very nice house. You guys enter, and with her, and the pony. Sure, you can bring the pony in or leave the pony outside. Either one's fine. You're in a rather large room, and the Warforged disappears back inside, kind of knocks on a wall, and down the stairs comes the Duchess. She sees Avia. Avia freaks out like she always does. Runs over, hugs her grandmother. Oh, good. Okay. Excellent. Thank you again. One of the Warforged walks over you and pulls out of his chest a large chest, and sets it down. There is another 150 gold, and 2 more potions of healing. Thank you so much. Child, come here. She pulls Avia to the side, and you see standing in the corner of the room 2 folks you haven't seen before. You see a rather large and well-armored female Goliath, and a rather large blue, fuzzy-ish looking creature that at least a few of you would know is a Furbolg, and he has a very giant staff. Avia, I would like you to meet 2 people. This is Desalov and his associate Koga. They are going to be taking care of you for the time being. And Avia looks kind of confused, but you're both big and look super cool. For our listeners, Koga and Desalov are the characters Grant and Peter played in their side quest, and I think episode they did with us in the first campaign. Koga is a Goliath barbarian, yes?
Yep.
And Desalov is a Furbolg paladin.
Paladin.
Yes. So she kind of moves Avia over to you. This is Koga. And she looks up and she smiles, and she just kind of runs over, wraps her arms around your legs. Hi. Hi.
Small child, welcome. You may call me Kogatul.
Okay. Hi. And then she runs over and wraps her arms around Desilov. Hi.
Hello. Desilov will kind of like crouch down so he's closer to eye level at her and give her like this very kind, warm smile.
And for the first time, Avia looks like a normal-sized child. Because Koga and Desilov are real tall.
Yeah. Desilov's about 2 inches short of 8 feet.
Then, Shim recognizes Koga from, like, legend and stories he heard back home of one of the few Goliath to leave Solitude, the primarily Goliath kingdom to the north, and kind of make her own stance in the rest of the plane.
Okay.
Koga's fairly well talked about up there as a very experienced and very well thought of bodyguard to the king and his family of Thassarin. You're actually familiar by name, at least.
Well, considering I'm not Goliathy right now.
Yeah, considering you're still doing your other thing, you're totally
Yeah,
fine.
I'm still Shim right now, so I'm gonna.
But
just
Shim
kind of play that.
definitely takes notice of this is a person you've heard about in a like almost like stories are told.
Yeah.
They actually take Avia upstairs to go play. There are toys and probably sugar. She's at like 5% sugar right now, so we're gonna have to crank that back up a little bit. As they leave, the Duchess looks at you. Okay.
The
I
air
hate.
gets noticeably warmer, by the way, when Koga leaves.
Yes, there's like an actual change in temperature in the room. The Duchess walks over. I hate to keep asking you guys to do things for me, and while I am incredibly grateful you have returned my granddaughter, to my knowledge, and from the but I can't really find any information one way or the other, I don't know where my son and daughter-in-law are. And I need that rectified. Avia was the priority, but she's safe now. Would you be interested in doing me a favor?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Where was the last place you saw them?
I haven't seen them in 6 months, frankly. They tend to not leave the area around Varen, and I tend to not leave Oriel.
The duties of state, of course.
Yes, I just know what I'm told. One of Avia actually has 4 Warforged bodyguards. One made it out after her parents were taken and came and found me. That's when I was able to send Izzo to find a group to retrieve her. I really don't have a clue where they were taken. It can't be too far. I don't really know anything about the people from the Mantle of the Crow. I know very little that goes on in Onwaru. It's very much not something I've had to deal with before. And with the invasion from the merfolk, it's not been a priority.
Well, I think we have a few good places to start.
DM question: Have I seen the crow logo close enough that I could fake it in a disguise self sense?
With some kind of check, sure.
Okay.
You've seen it between the tattoos and the group you guys just saw, and some experience you've had maybe in the past a little bit.
My experience with the lizard.
Yeah. You probably would have seen it at some point in Gran Arn's establishment. That's entirely possible. When he was probably not paying you very well. You could probably make a relatively acceptable replica.
Cool.
And if only we'd managed to kill some of them, then we could have just cut the logo off of their jackets.
Or kept their armor. And just disguise selves into orcs.
Right.
Always better to do things without bloodshed than with.
And hey, it was far more entertaining, if I'm going to be honest.
It was very fun.
As long as you guys enjoyed it, I actually thought it was pretty funny, so that seems fine. Okay, so she... Yep.
At this point, it's just like a running challenge. Like, how little violence can we have in this campaign?
So she just kind of looks at you guys. I really don't know what to tell you. You seem to have found enough leads to find her. I'm sure you can do the same again.
We'll see what we can do. I mean, the trailer's 6 months cold.
No. Oh, sorry. I should clarify that. It's been 6 months since she's seen them. They were only taken like a week and a half or 2 weeks ago.
Oh, well, in that case, I've many better ideas.
Yeah, they like...
Not even so cold as that. For example, we know where a group of them are right now.
That is a thing you know where is.
If
Yeah, that's a
they're
good
still
point.
Okay, so she thanks you, and she looks out the door, sees the mule, is a little confused where that came from or why it has a horn on it now.
Yes, that does remind me. You have a mule.
She'll want to keep that. She motions to someone, and they go get the mule and go put it in a stable somewhere. Right. Okay. Well, that's what that coin was for. Sure, that's fine. She'll be very excited about that. Thank you
I'm sure
again.
you and Sparkle Toes shall have a wonderful time together.
That is not canonically the name of the...
It may or may
Never
not
mind,
be
it's
now.
Sparkle Toes now.
Yep, just gonna have to accept that.
Hang on, wait. Can I do a dancing lights to make its toes sparkle for just a little bit?
Sure, why not?
I do that.
Or press
Listen,
agitation, whichever's fine.
It's very important in improv to say yes.
And to make sure I write it down on the t-shirt list. Sounds like a joke, but there's a list. It's an actual on-paper list.
Let me guess. This one says Sparkle Toes is the canonical name now.
It wasn't going to, but it might.
Sparkle Toes is this mule's canonical name.
Make sure you capture the long-suffering sigh.
That's very important. You don't want to miss out on that. It's hard to do in text. But
Long-suffering size. How many of those shirts are just fish puns?
I think only one or two. Hold on. I'll find the list later. It's fine.
We're probably gonna have to, assess the scale of the puns that we use.
There it
Dang,
was.
I was going to ask if he was going to print the shirts to scale.
I was going to ask if you were swimming in them.
Not yet. And she beat you to it, and I'm very proud of her for that, Daniel.
Drowning in them, perhaps?
Awash in them.
There's a whole swamp of a variety of colors of t-shirts.
This is a tide of t-shirts.
Yep.
They're just going to sweep over.
Yeah, they do.
Y'all are floundering on these fish puns. It's just to water now.
It's really just repeats of the first campaign at this point, but that's fine.
Yeah.
It worked then, it works now. All right, so you guys head out back into the streets of Oriel.
Get salty about it.
That's right. Oh, I'm very, very salty. Salty's a great word for that. You're not wrong. And you guys kind of wander out, and Grant, Trather feels this sort of unusual sensation, and there's just like, everybody sees like this brief flash of a mist, and Trather just kind of locks up and freezes in place. You physically cannot move.
Well, that's not good.
You can still breathe. You're fine, but you can't move. That mist that you guys saw when you left Varen kind of floats in next to you, and there's just a woman standing there. She looks at the lot of you, pats Trather on the head, pokes you on the nose. You'll be fine. You just stay there. Hi. Oh, good. You brought her home. Excellent. That was all I was supposed to make sure happened. Good. Good. You did an excellent job. She'll be very happy. Ooh, you lot are interesting looking.
Do you know where the parents of the child are?
Ooh. She looks
I'm
at
sorry.
you, John.
More importantly, who are you?
Hi. Don't worry about that. It's not important. John, she looks at you and she's like, oh. She's looking at your arm. And she kind of twinkles her fingers around, and these little dots appear in the sky right in front of her fingers, and they're very much a crimson color you're super familiar with.
Oh.
Interesting. Huh. She flashes out and flashes back, and she's standing next to you now. And she hands you a piece of paper. See what you can find with this. She rolls it out, and it's a map. And she sticks it in your hand so that you're holding it so that she can see it. And she's like, yeah, there. And she points to a spot, and you're relatively familiar, John, with the area. You've been in Nawaru. and that kind of surrounding area for a long time, most of your life.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
really know what's there. It's in
Oh.
Anwaru, but it's not a place you've seen before. And there's just there's two things. So there's a little town, and then further to the west of that, there's what looks like the symbol that you would draw to represent there being like a tower. It's like, so when you remember when you went to Radin's Tower,
Yeah.
it's like the kind of symbol you would use to represent something like that. You've not seen either of those on the map before. So so you guys have fun with that. And she just kind of walks back over next to Trather, boops him on the nose again. I'll see you guys later. And she kind of waves her hand in the air, and the mystery appears, and she's gone.
So Trather, who or what was that?
No, you're good now. You're good now.
Madam, hand me.
Bertrand just kind of blinks.
Yeah.
You all right?
Mildly discompetent.
And you have your full range of motion back. You're good. That was an unusual experience. None of you have probably seen anything like that before. Anyone who wants to make me an Arcana check can totally do that. That would be a thing you could do. William
why
or
not?
Jenny or anybody else. Trather.
You don't know that. It could be a DC 5.
I'm going to refuse because there's no way Trather should know about this.
But that would make the natural 20 really funny.
Fine, but this is not canonical.
That's fine.
It's a
Okay.
9.
That's a
Thank
9. Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's canonical.
Yep. You're fairly certain that was some kind of teleportation she was doing, but the ability to constantly blink around like that is not something you've seen before. And Jenny,
And I read a lot.
Yes.
yeah, you read a lot of books. That's in none of the Warforged books or any of the other books either. Jenny, John's real pretty sure that lady was probably Crimsonborn, but that's not a thing you know how to do. That was
I do.
that was a
I
whole
do light
thing.
refraction.
Yeah,
I
not
don't do
not that.
mist and freezing people.
And when he was frozen, he was there was like a little twitch and there's like a little glow. And Grant, he took no damage, no any of that. You just no movie. So that was fun. And you have a map now. As you look at the map where Varen is, that's where you guys have spent most of your time. Across the fork in the road is a little city called Sheringen. And you remember that the nice orc lady in the tree said that word earlier. That's not an area you know a lot about, nor a city you're particularly familiar with. But it's right there on this real nice looking map called Sheringen. And none of you are particularly, no matter sort of how long or short you've been in Anwaru, that's not a name you've really heard very often. You may have heard it once or twice, but it'd have to be like very, very new, and you're not particularly familiar with it outside of where it apparently is in this nice picture the lady gave you.
Before we decide to take mysterious blinking lady's advice,
Seems fine.
how much do we actually trust her?
Not at all, but what other resources do we have?
Well,
A reasonably large number of orcs.
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah, we
there
could
are
go-
orcs we can capture and question.
They seem to
There
like you
are,
guys.
Yeah.
There's the lake houses just north of Varen that we veered off the path, but there were more further north that we could have explored where we think the initial attack happened. There might be clues that way. Or we could take this woman's advice.
Let me just say, I don't trust her as far as I can throw her, but
And you have a
I
really
underst-
mediocre strength score.
I do. I'm just a little bit above average. I really don't trust her, but I understand her, and I think it's at least worth investigating. And she was at least claiming to sort of be on our side. She claims to have wanted the kid back home.
That could
Uh.
also just be a lie that she gave up as soon as she saw that the girl was here and
And protected.
quite heavily guarded.
I mean, that's fair. That's
Advocate
very
though, like if that mist was her and she was following us the whole time, there were probably plenty of opportunities for her to do a lot of that freeze motion thing on all of us and just
Yeah.
take the girl.
Oh,
Yes,
there were far better times for her to take the child. If you're pretty
Like-
sure if that's what she was trying to do.
Yeah, like trying
right
to
in the
set up
middle
an
of
ambush.
the ambush.
That probably had nothing to do with this.
Well,
All
I'm
right.
suspicious, but at the very least, we could scout the town out and see.
Yeah.
Don't have to go just taking her out of her exact word, but
Yeah.
It's probably fine.
It's certainly the most direct and specific lead that we've got. We may as
Mhm.
well follow up on
well,
it.
we should start
Cautiously.
with cautious, yes, but we will start there. And if not, we have other leads if we don't want to just jump for it.
Hmm.
Okay, so if you guys want to head that direction, so it'll take you guys a couple of days to get back to Varen, and then a couple of days from there to get to Syringen, probably a day or two. So you guys head back to Varen.
Well, hold on. If we're heading back to Varen, we're passing right past that orc encampment anyway.
You are. That is a thing you will do.
I am totally down for some orc interrogation.
All right. So it takes you guys a day or two, but you do get back in that area if that's where you would like to go instead.
Well, I mean, we're already on the way.
Accurate.
I'll just pick up some information to go.
Okay, so you guys pass back through the area, and the tree's definitely still there.
What is your order? I'd like some organization and a side of fries and a little bit of information to go with that. Thank you.
Second window.
We out of organization.
I'll take some controlled chaos instead.
Delivery not till Tuesday. All right, so you guys pass back through the area. You find your lovely tree. But you know that the leaves that kind of formed that canopy along the bottom edge, or the top edge, I guess, are just kind of collapsed on the ground and the tree's empty.
Hmm.
Perception checks. Anyone who is looking inside the tree.
All right.
That would
I will
be me.
gladly look in the tree. John didn't get to look in the tree last time. Hey, I didn't do bad.
No, you did not.
Bertrand
Whoa.
goes to look, bangs his head on the side.
That
Oh!
did a really good job.
Yep.
Yeah, finally doing those rangery things
Yep,
again.
Slightly above average.
He's ranging well.
Bertrand leaves a nice orc size, or not orc, dwarf sized dent in the side of the tree. Okay, so what you guys find when you're poking around is a lot of leftover food and mess. Like, there's just, I mean, it was 5 orcs. It's kind of a pigsty in here. But what you, Jenny and Daniel, you guys find a piece of parchment paper.
Hmm.
And written on the parchment are basically a set of instructions, more or less. Go to forest, find good hiding spot, wait for small child, take small child, bring back to, wait, hold on. Bring back to Black Wings Rise. Don't take to Granarn. Which seems like a weird inclusion, but don't worry about it.
Don't take to Granarn. Is that the lizard folk?
Yes. Granarn is your friendly neighborhood guy that'll probably definitely pay you nothing.
Mhm.
Ha.
But Granarn likes you a lot, Ken. You're going to do real good.
Yeah.
Oh, not me. He does not like me.
I mostly just wanted to use the voice again, if I'm being honest.
I mean, that's fair.
Granarn. Okay, so yeah, you guys find a note. And Black Wings Rise is not a place you've heard of.
Hmm.
But 15 minutes ago, neither was Syringen, so they could be the same place. Anything's possible.
All right. Well, we will save this clue and hang on to it. But I suppose we should make our way back.
All right, so you guys stop in Varen. I assume you stop in Varen before going to Syringen. As you guys come back into town, Shim, you look over and you see Granarn leaning against a post, and he looks very upset with you. And he just kind of looks at you and he's like, Not a good call, kid. And then he just walks away.
I'm sure that's fine. That won't come back at all.
I just kind of wave and smile.
Okay, bye. Okay, so do you guys want to do anything while you're in Varen, or do you just want to go straight on to Syringan?
Shopping?
Sure. What do you want to buy?
I wouldn't mind picking up another health potion. I know
Okay.
we just got 4, but
Never a bad option.
yeah,
50 gold, please, sir.
absolutely.
You find a lovely store that sells all sorts of nice things like that. And the gentleman will gladly sell you a potion today. Does anyone else need supplies? Caltrops, because you guys can always use more of those. Another mule.
I won't get supplies, but I will talk to my contact. Well, this time I will come and listen. I got 2 silver in it. If you can tell me anything you can about Black Wings Rise or find out about it.
Make me some kind of. Oh, is that what the 21 is, or was that perception?
No, that was perception, but
Make me some kind of talking to a person check. He looks at you. You weren't gone very long. Did you find the kid?
the kid, yes. Now I have another job. I have to track that orc troop.
You sure you want to do that?
Yep.
Interesting choice. That an interesting choice. Well, sure. Black Wings Rise. Well, let's see. Headquarters of the Mantle of the Crow. Lovely, terrible building. You could not pay me to go inside.
I'm not paying you to go inside. I'm paying you to tell me where it is.
Syringan. Ever heard of it?
Somehow, not till the past couple days. Then I've heard of it a lot.
That surprises me. Well, good luck. Mostly orcs. And a few of, handful of, Kinku, the interesting bird creatures, live there too. Weird arrangement with the orcs. I don't ask questions.
All right. Well,
But the Kinku seem to be the ones in charge.
we'll see how this goes. I am not looking forward to this, but
Yeah,
there's good gold in it.
have fun.
You know me.
Don't get yourself killed again.
Once was enough.
Let me tell you. And as you walk off, he kind of the silver.
Right. I'll just go ahead and give him 3 silver.
Take care of yourself then.
You too.
Okay, so you guys have a generalized idea of where Syringan is. What do?
Well, I will regroup and confirm that the Red Mist Lady's info was in fact good. And we have some corroborating evidence, and it's gonna be wherever they're holed up. It's not a nice place, and there's a lot of trouble.
So are you guys still going to head that direction?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So basically, you guys walk through the sort of the plain and over towards Syringan. As you get closer, you see a couple of things. You see a large lake that kind of splits the land, some watchtowers, a bridge, a very high sort of parapeted wall, wooden surrounding what you assume is a town. But as soon as you get to the other side of the water, the grass and the foliage stops.
Huh.
It is just sand.
Ooh, desert's my favorite terrain.
You're pretty sure the desert only extends inside the fence.
Neat. I mean, weird.
Here there be instant desert.
Yes.
Ooh.
Just take away water and stir.
Yeah, basically. And I mean, there's nothing preventing you from crossing the bridge, and the gate is not open, but not like 17 guards standing in front of it either.
How tall is the wall?
18 feet. Except at the gate where it's more like 14.
I mean, do we want to knock?
Oh, sure. Bertrand just kind
I
of
can-
scrolls right up.
Okay.
I'm
I can
excited.
throw the Raven crest on my shoulder
Okay, yeah. If
if
you
we
want
think that might help.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna disguise self and throw Raven's crest and slightly like half orcish look on me.
as you guys approach, you see some heads kind of pop over the side and just kind of look at you a little confused. And these are actually both Pinku. You haven't actually seen any orcs yet.
Bertrand just waves cheerfully.
They look down at you. What do you want?
I was hoping to come inside.
And he takes a look and he sees Shim and he sees the patch on your side. You I don't recognize.
I'm new, kind of probationary.
Whatever. Get in here. And they open the gate.
I'm glad for once the "oh, I'm new" line actually worked.
It's been a heavy.
When your security doesn't care, you can you can break in with ease.
There's new interns like every 3 weeks and contractors. No one keeps up with it anymore.
I mean, the other option we could have run into is, when are we getting in? Nevermore. Oh, geez.
That'd have been terrible. I wish I'd thought of it. I mean, for all you know, this guy's only worked the gate for like 3 weeks. He probably joined a month and a half ago. So
You're standing there, the gate like closes itself a little tighter and then starts opening. Like he turned it the wrong way.
Yeah. So what you see inside is just like a very small little village. There are a handful of shops, housing. There's like you assume what like a person in charge's like sort of like a constable's house, maybe like a magistrate. This looks distinctly perception checks. Everybody make me perception or investigation. Solid change of pace, Grant.
Thank you.
I support your choices. Good,
That's-
sweet mercy.
Oh no!
Oh man.
Okay,
Wow,
well-
I'm just rolling
Oh,
on
geez.
both ends of the extreme tonight.
We have
Yeah.
3 20s, an 18, and 8 and a 4.
The phrase "Trather got this" concerns me.
It'll probably work out. It's been fine so far. Okay, so what you guys take notice of is that this all looks out of place. This doesn't look like it was built for orcs or Kinku. Looks like it was built for humans, but there are none. And it looks like it's just kind of been repurposed, maybe? And the sand seems very unusual, and the whole thing just seems kind of odd. What you do immediately notice is this building over here with the 2 large orc gentlemen standing in front of it has a banner. One on actually each side of the door. It's a very large representation of that thing on Shim's shoulder right now. And also saying Shim's shoulder is a little difficult. So yeah, that looks like
I mean,
a
if it was
giant...
polished, it would be Shem's shiny shoulder, and
That's
that would
right.
be really difficult.
That's right. You imagine this is probably an important building. And it has a big sign on it that says Black Wings Rise.
That's the place.
Well, do we want to look around first,
Sure.
or do we want to just go straight up and knock?
Works so far.
That's true.
I mean, I'm in favor of straight up and knock, but
I don't judge your methods. They seem to have been effective.
Okay.
All right.
clerics aren't usually known for their subtlety, so
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
especially dwarven ones.
So let's just kind of shift everyone down here-ish.
Walk past, just kind of like nod at the guard and knock on the door.
And I'm just sitting in the back of the group, just like sweating, going, "This is fine. This is fine.
This is totally fine. This is definitely going to work out. All right. They look very surprised by your assertive nature. and they but they see the patch on Shim's shoulder. Hmm. What do you want?
Group of mercenaries I was told to bring to the office.
Roll those sweet dice. Advantage since you did the disguise.
Advantage. I like advantage.
Also continuing the proud city on a hill gaming of people just rolling deception and stuff willy-nilly. Just whoever wants to roll deception, just go right ahead.
We'll see what happens. It's worked out so far.
That's
Last campaign,
15.
it was the wizard with no chaw bonus.
Hey, I mean that mostly ended okay.
Except for
Largely.
that time I ended up singing campfire songs to everybody.
Look, that was still entertaining, if nothing else. And I think you guys still won that fight, so probably fine.
Barely.
Okay, so they kind of look you over. Whatever. New people every day. Get in there. And they open the door.
That worked.
Look, orcs aren't particularly intelligent creatures for the most part.
That's what I was betting on.
Like I said, it's worked out so far. So you guys come up, and as you open the door and you step in, you're in kind of a large, almost looks like a little bit of a guild hall. And me beep, whip, beep. There's all sorts of fun new friends inside. And you recognize two of them. Whip.
Oh boy.
Just more sweat.
We did say we were mercenaries, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
I said I was a like a bodyguard for hire, kind of.
okay. That
That's
works.
fair. That and standing in a swimming pool right now. It's just pouring off of him. This is fine. Everything's fine. All right.
I suspect the group has collectively impressed upon Trather, just be quiet and look large.
That is one of his primary skill sets. Okay. Except when he's trying to. You actually did a pretty good job talking to the one guy. That worked quite nicely. Okay, so what you guys see are a couple of orcs you haven't seen before. This one down here, and that one over here, and two fun Kinku friends. Will one of you explain to our audience what Kinku are? Because I don't think I did that earlier. And
I can do that. I
it's
play a Kenku.
It's not a
in
super
another
common
game.
race.
So yeah, Kenku are sort of like if you took a sort of like a halfling or a hobbit-sized person, and or maybe a little bit bigger, and you just put black feathers all over them, and you gave them a beak, and they look like crow people, but they don't have wings, and they can't fly. And sometimes game masters say that they can only talk through mimicry. I think that's a little bit silly. I don't play my Kenku like that.
No, canonically, by the book, that's how they are. But
I don't know a single GM who's made me play that way.
that's fair. I'm going to have an NPC like that, but
Oh.
that's for later.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to say not yet, but that
I was gonna
Probably
say,
isn't a good
Rishi
use of
wasn't
our time,
like
if I'm gonna
that,
be honest.
Your PC in the colony game wasn't like that.
Well,
Tifa
yeah.
wasn't
In the
like
game
that.
I ran, it made no sense. Like the Kinku society that lived in isolation would not have functioned without people
Yeah.
to,
It's a-
mimic sounds from.
it's like a curious backstory option, but I don't know that I think you're right. Probably doesn't make a ton of sense if you think about there being a lot of them.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
the thing.
exactly.
So there's a couple of Kinku you've not seen before, and then your two friends from the forest.
Oh, we'll wave.
Ketten's
Yeah.
back. Hey, I know you guys. You're the shield people.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hey, boss, the shield people. She smacks him with her bow again. What are the six of you doing here? We don't. Wait, we're. Oh wait, you're with. Huh.
Yeah, I was told to go find some people and bring them here to bolster their numbers a little bit for some event that nobody will tell me about. And I found these guys on the road, and
So she turns and looks at the Kinku up here behind the table. Boss? That a what? We found them earlier when we were looking for the girl, but they didn't have the girl or dwarf, but they have a dwarf now.
Hello.
Hi.
The feeling our luck is running out.
But they didn't have the girl, so I assume it was fine.
It's all fine.
He kind of walks around the side of the table and looks the 6 of you over. What on earth?
There was no girl when I found him.
I don't recognize you.
I was hired by somebody else. I don't remember who it was, but it was not you. But they mentioned you.
Really?
Not by name, but by
No, of course they didn't.
by description.
That would have worked out well for you, wouldn't it? Huh. Well, you're a most interesting lot. Human, Aarakocra, dwarf, elf. You,
Half orc?
well, no, he's actually looking at John.
Oh, okay.
You're most curious, aren't you?
Oh, yes, sorry. Emo.
It's goth, actually. I don't have time for emotions.
Oh, beg pardon. Very sorry.
Oh, sweet mercy. I don't even know what to do with you people anymore.
Make another t-shirt.
No, definitely not that one. That's not going on the list. I'm afraid it will sell well. I don't want that. For those playing at home, wait, let me find it real quick while I'm thinking about it. I swear there's a sticky note somewhere.
Are you sure you don't want to make a shirt that says race, human, class, emo?
I'm fairly certain.
For the record, I have been sitting on that since before the campaign started.
I appreciate that. You definitely tried to hold it in for a while. That was good.
It should at least say like race human ?
Okay, so we have Follow the Giant Turtle, Mace to the Face, Very Magical Accident, Wizardosity, and Spark Blossom. And then what was the mule's name?
Sparkle Toes.
Sparkle Toes. Sparkle Toes. The mule, because I'll forget. Okay. And then just a logo shirt, because you probably should do something that makes sense at some point. All right. So he looks a lot of you over and is very not convinced by any of this. Ben, roll those sweet dice, or someone. It doesn't have to be Ben.
For deception?
Sure. That'll be a thing you could do. Yep. Well, without advantage, but that's still a 17.
Okay.
No advantage because he's
here.
pretty sure you're not being honest with him. Huh. So what are you doing in here?
Well, this isn't the place to come.
Not traditionally where we send new people, no.
How do we know the traditions? We're new.
Yeah, but if this one has the patch, he should know better.
Yeah,
He thought highly of our skills.
the guy's name that hired me, I think his name was Gork or something. He just mentioned this.
Hold on, let me make a note of that. That's a name I'm going to use later. All right. Also, Gork the Orc is pretty good. But it's Gork with a K.
Yes.
I was
He
thinking it was
spelled
a
it for me.
Q. Gorq.
Gork. The Orc. That's right, eh? Okay. Okay, so what do you want then?
He didn't tell. All he said was gather some people and come here because somebody here needed extra muscle.
I mean, yeah. In theory, we will eventually.
He said it was what I was doing. It was none of my business. Just go bring people that looked like they could handle themselves in a fight.
Yeah, okay. Well, we're not really going to be doing that for So it's like Danish or something? Is that what we're
Yeah.
working with here?
Okay.
Hello, I am Georg.
It's the newest weapon series from IKEA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I got Vatten's name from an IKEA catalog.
Yeah, you did. And I very much enjoyed that process. Twitch.tv/CityOnHill Gaming. For our audience, Gork, according to Peter, is spelled G-O with I believe that's an umlaut above it.
Yep.
R-Q. Gork. Gork the York. Oh, that's a thing that's going to come back at some point.
Can you please make him some sort of Scandinavian chef?
No, I can't.
Birdie birdie derp derp.
Do you have another brother named Bork?
Gork and Bork.
Gork
The York twins.
He's the only orc with a mustache, a big walrus mustache.
We can only rip off so many things from Jim Henson before this becomes a problem. Okay, so okay, well, we're not planning any action against her for months. We really don't need more people now.
Like I said, I was just told to bring.
I tell you what, we got to move the prisoners. Well, I mean, someone's gonna have to move the prisoners to the tower, the new one they just built for the Crow.
I mean, they're good at guarding stuff, so I guess maybe they could do it.
I've done prisoner transport before.
They do have to be moved to the perch sooner rather than later, all three of them. Actually, no, leave the second woman here. We're not done questioning her yet. She's not one of ours. Yeah, go on down into the basement, and you guys can take the prisoners to the tower. Yeah, that'll probably be fine. Okay, so what do you see behind you next to this large orc gentleman? He opens a door. He looks very confused by this whole thing because this doesn't make sense in the least. And behind this door is kind of a storage room. Yeah, I mean, hey, I'm just rolling with it.
We rolled too well for it to make sense.
I mean, hey, it's far more entertaining and time efficient than combat would be, so it's not nothing. And for what it's worth, I'm pretty sure most of them didn't have names this time, so I feel a little better about that.
Like footprints of flop sweat.
Yeah. So as you guys move through into this little side room, you see a spiral staircase that leads downstairs. What do?
First, I'm
Walk
going to dry out my
downstairs?
feet before I go down the stairs.
Well, sure, that's polite. That's what the mat at the top is for. So you guys come downstairs. Presuming you all kind of make your way down.
Is it lit or dark?
It's lit. There is a brightness
It's
about it.
lit.
I was trying to avoid that, Jenny. Thank you.
It's a library. It's the literature basement. It's lit.
It is in
Orcish
fact
lit.
lit. Yes. My worst.
Don't read too much into that.
Oh, my worst
I don't
subject in
think they
college.
can.
There's some orcish EDM coming out of the bottom.
But it sounds much messier than that, and not nearly as artistic as it should. You come out at the bottom of the stairs, and there are several large orc gentlemen, and then a sort of a long wall, and in the middle of the wall, a heavy steel cage door blocks what you can really not even see into is like a very dark room, but you hear the voice of another Kinku inside. We'll find out my information eventually. Yeah. And the orc at the bottom of the stairs sees the six of you come down the stairs, which doesn't really make any sense. So he just kind of stands there in the middle. I've moved you guys to the side, but he kind of stands in the middle and blocks your way.
Great. I'm going to try and intimidate him and get him to move out of the way. Just
Roll those
loom
sweet,
at
sweet
him.
dice.
16.
He shifts back literally one space, but he's really not moving.
Right.
Enough of a presence for you guys to get out the space. Boss, there's humans? And the dwarf. Why is there a dwarf? And you see a Kinku peek his head around the side and look around. What on earth is happening out there? What do you
Prisoner
want?
transport detail.
Boss man at the bar said we are supposed to take the prisoners to the tower.
I'm not.
The new one that's being built.
I'm not done with them yet.
Well, he said to leave one of them.
Leave the girl.
Okay, but still, I'm not done yet.
Well,
Look, we have our orders, you know. He's gonna be mad at, well, probably you for impeding us in, you know, our job. Please let us do our job.
I outrank him.
Bertrand will
Where
put
does he
his
get
boredest
off?
face on.
His most what face, sorry?
Bored.
Oh. You're not
Just
taking
kinda,
him
just kind
anywhere.
of stare flatly with just overwhelming boredom.
So help me, this ends right, and everything stops, and you guys are instantly teleported back to Izzo and Dacia's, so that I can end on a cliffhanger like Grant asked last time.
okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
Oh,
that is actually where we're going to stop. Before we get into too many other things, we will actually go ahead and call it here. Probably not at Izzo and Dacia's, but I was
Yeah, of
listening to that earlier, and that seemed
Yeah.
appropriate. Okay, so. Thank you for listening. We have been City on a Hill Gaming. This is our actual play podcast. I've been Ryan, your Dungeon Master. Joining me, as always, are William, Daniel, Ben, Peter, Grant, and Jenny, our lovely group of players. You can find our previous episodes and all future episodes, including all our special episodes that are uploaded this April for our 1-year upload anniversary. 7 weeks in a row of content for you fine people. Over at cityonthehillgaming.com or by searching City on the Hill Gaming wherever you get your podcasts. Unless I've missed some, and if we have, please tell me on Twitter at City on the Hill Game or email us cityonthehillgaming@gmail.com. Grant, tell the fine folks where they can find you guys from Saving the Game and all about the fun, awesome things you guys do.
Sure thing. So, Saving the Game is a Christian podcast about tabletop role-playing games and collaborative storytelling, and we are at stgcast.org or savingthegamepodcast.org, whichever you prefer. We're coming up on 150 official episodes and have, I don't know, about 18 or so bonus episodes as well. So we've been at this for, oh goodness, nearly 7 years.
Yeah.
Sorry,
7
I
years
just
in
saw a lot
July.
of editing flash by. But
So
yeah,
many
that's
waveforms.
oh, no idea. So many ums and uhs. But that's what we do. And of course, if you want to find us, you can go to Saving the Game on Facebook or Twitter. We also have a Discord full of wonderful people whom we talk with pretty regularly in our fantastic listener community, Ryan included, and
Hi.
I believe a couple others as well. And we just kind of talk about kind of the theology of games and how to bring certain Christian elements into games, how to run games in a Christian manner, which is to say a healthy and productive manner in a way that helps people and is actively good. And yeah, that's what we do.
And we are
We
huge
also do
fans of it.
streaming. We stream every Friday
Yes, we do.
That is also a thing that
on
happens,
Twitch.
and it is also very enjoyable. So go check their Twitch stream out. Okay, so go check them out. Check us out when you get a chance. And we appreciate you listening. Have a blessed day. Thanks for listening to City on the Hill Gaming. For more information, you can find us online at cityonthehillgaming.com, email us at cityonthehillgaming@gmail.com, or find us on Twitter at cityonthehillgame. For more information on Saving the Game, you can find Peter, Grant, and Jenny at stgcast.org or at Saving the Game on Twitter. Thanks, and have a blessed day.